I'm Colette Evans, women's female natural bodybuilder, and I'm here today with Julia at her gym, Be Strong, in Rotherham, and we just wanted to basically have a chat about where to start when you're competing. So I competed for the first time in NABA about 7-8 years ago, and then I did 5 more shows in 2021. So I just wanted to have a bit of a chat to Julia today about her experiences of competing, because you competed the first time last year. Do you want to introduce yourself and what you did and what you achieved basically last year?
Yeah. So I'm Julia. I'm 44. I've trained for nearly 25 years. Always thought about competing for quite a few years, but I've got 3 kids too, and it's sort of, I've not been able to put everything fully into it, so time came last year to do it. Competed for the first time, loved it, and went from there.
So what sort of stopped you? So we'll start from the very start. Like, what stopped you? Was it the time commitment? Or?
I always thought I could not do it because I could not do the diet. Because I love my food.
Me too.
There's no way I can cook chocolate and just be that strict. And I just, that was the main thing. But then when I sort of got over that, I thought, well, maybe I could. Then it was just having my guidance and somebody just to believe in you and give you that support and say, go on, you can do it.
Interesting. So did you have a coach then?
Not a proper coach. No, not first time. No, I just got help from people that were close to me. Really. So, but I looking at it now, I think you do
benefit. I've always had a coach, and I find it's just good to have someone's eyes on you. Also, I will actually put up our 2 physiques on screen for you to compare our 2 categories: women's natural bodybuilding and train figure. Right. Just to see what the different categories look like. Obviously, if you've got any questions, you can always contact me over on my Instagram, Colette_Evans_photo, where you'll see lots of different pictures of me competing, doing photo shoots, and just general business life. Anyway, we're women and we get sidetracked as per usual. So, what I really want to talk to you today about is, and share with other people, is how you choose your first show. Like, where do you even start when you're looking to compete as a female in bodybuilding? So where did you start?
Well, last year when I decided that was the year that I was going to do it, I just had a look at what shows there were from every federation, and just got a list of everyone and just looked at ones they were in. I initially was going to do a NABA one, the first one, because I thought it's a smaller organisation, and maybe it's a better one to start off with. But a couple of personal issues happened, and that didn't work out. So I ended up. It should have been like April, May time, I think I was doing that, but that didn't happen, and I ended up doing it in July. But all I left with then is, well, not all I left with, but being PCA what I went with.
That's interesting, because that was just something I was going to ask you about actually later on in this chat, but it's come up now, so I'll ask you. But when you're considering which show to do, I've found you need to look at your own priorities, personal, commitments. Also, how much it's going to cost, because it's not cheap competing. So can you afford it? And that sometimes dictates which show you're going to do. I know when I did NABA, it was the May one, the North East one, the first time around. And literally, I was doing a lot of wedding photography then. So the only date I had available was that date. And in hindsight, I don't think I would have chose that show now for me, because looking at the categories and competitors, I've always been natural, and looking at the other competitors in my category, I was too muscular for the bikini, and I did athletic figure, but I probably weren't muscular enough, and it was my first show, so getting really lean, quite a challenge. So I probably wouldn't chose NABA, and that'd be my advice for anyone doing the first show. Naturally, I wouldn't choose that. I'd choose something like MPA, which is quite a smaller organisation, just to bed yourself in a little bit. But sometimes your schedule dictates which show you're in. But like yourself,
I were a bit worried about going with PCA first, because I heard that they were really big and there were a lot of people that entered their competitions, and but I just go for it, and you know, they were really good. You know, I was really impressed and looked after them, and you know, they were fine. But
so
it's just that first time, it's so nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And it is, when you first go in, it's overwhelming, isn't it, sometimes?
You just don't know what to expect. I think, obviously you watch videos and clips, but until you're actually there and you do it, it's you've got to get over that first one, I think, haven't you?
I think so, and that's why I wanted to do this series of like helping people to know what to expect when they compete. And like I've got sort of videos on my channel if anyone wants to go and watch of my actual stage footage of me competing, like professional stage footage and all sorts of different things. So, because I didn't have that when I first competed, and I didn't have it even in 2021. So, so hopefully this will help people. But in terms of choosing your federation, then, so you just did PCA.
But just because the date, not more than anything, because the dates worked, and I thought, right, I'm going to be ready now, because it's not me on a couple of months, so after I sorted out my personal things, and I thought, right, 2 months time PCA, and it just stood out to me, and it was either PCA or Fitex, and I went with PCA, so,
so did you consider where that might lead to in future?
I did look at when like the shows after that, so I went in the first timers one. I did PCA first timers in July. People were saying to me, some people were saying don't bother with first timers because you've got mature muscle, you've been training for years, you don't need to. But I thought, I'm a first timer, I've never been on stage before, so I need to jump in a first timer because I'm a first timer. So that's what I did. But then I were looking at doing regional, PCA regional ones after that. And then I saw that it led to the finals in October. But when I did the first time show, I got the invite from that to go to the finals. So I didn't bother winning regionals. I just concentrated on just going for finals in October.
And how did you find? So that was May.
That was July.
And then you had to go through to October. See, my shows, I always choose them quite, the qualifier and the finals quite close together.
I think it's better to do that,
I was just going to say, like, how did you find holding that condition?
Well, I had a couple of weeks off, but I didn't go crazy. I just had a few days away with my daughter, and I had a few things to eat. I haven't just had a bit of a breather, but no longer than a couple of weeks. And when I got back onto it, I was very, did like a good 10-week.
It's perhaps quite draining, well, very draining, not quite. I think that's underestimated it.
Definitely.
Very demanding mentally, physically. So to keep it going for that amount of time. Although saying that, for some reason I end up doing like 25, 30 week preps anyway.
Yeah, it's normal, isn't it? A lot of people do that. But I think if you've got that in your head from beginning, 20 odd weeks, it's a lot to sort of comprehend into.
Doing bite-sized chunks, basically. So
by the time I got to finals, I was like,
you've had it up.
My body had it off, I've done a good week, had a week or so off, and then got another 10 weeks. So it's a long time.
And it's very draining on your family life, social life, that sort of thing.
Because you've got to do. It's just that you've got to concentrate on all time.
But that's another topic, perhaps for another day. And how you manage being social, human, and not turn into a robot, basically. But going back to choosing your first show then, so I've always sort of approached things in terms of like looking at the federations, looking when the dates are, also looking at the category and what suits my body, because I don't think a lot of people take enough into consideration of like what their body type is, because obviously wellness is massive now, it's just blown up, and there's a fitness category now which is different. So how did you determine, did you look at the judging criteria or just look at pictures online?
I did. I looked at what the judges, what the descriptions were, what they're after, but I always, I definitely didn't want to do, I definitely weren't interested in bikinis. It was just not my thing, that type of pose anyway, but I don't think I would have suited that anyway. So it would definitely figure. So with PCA, it was turned athletic or trained. I didn't like to imagine myself going with tone, because I do like the more muscle,
same.
for me, it's big,
bigger the better. Bigger the better.
And
It's
so
more challenging, isn't it? It's more challenging to
definitely.
push yourself that much further.
So originally we were athletic that I was looking at, and then as I started dieting down and the shape started to come through, people were saying to me, no, I think you'd be more suited to train figure, and that's what I decided to jump in.
That's interesting because your physique changes, especially if you've got a little bit more body fat than, well, there's a lot more than when you get on stage, but if you've got quite a lot of body fat at the beginning, I know at the beginning of last year I had about 8-10 kilo more than I've got now.
Yeah.
I'm currently in prep, I'm 38 weeks out at the moment. But it's hard to see what your physique's going to look like, especially if it's the first time.
Definitely.
So you're not really sure where your assets lay.
Yeah.
Have you got big glutes? Have you got bigger thighs? Are your shoulders bigger? You know, you're not really too sure. So I think definitely as your physique changes, you can change your category decision. And I know I went between certain categories when I did the IFBA in 2021. And I actually went to the judges and asked them. I actually went to the federation and some of the judges. Ernie Taylor, do you know Ernie?
Don't know.
Yeah, he used to be a pro back in the day, I went to him and actually said, like, he was judging. I said, like, what's your opinion? I sent him some pictures, like, he said, like, right now, I went, yeah, definitely, like, figure in this federation. You know, he was like, definitely. But I always thought to myself, I think I'm more physique in some. So, when I did the UK DFBA, actually, I competed in the qualifier in physique, because I was just like, oh, I don't know. Because when you look at physique, it tends to be, I think, they tend to have the leaner, but not as much mass. And when you've got more mass, it's hard to get as lean. Because you've got more muscle, you hold a bit more water. It's a bit of a weird thing, because sometimes the people in physique, I think, look better than bodybuilding. Anyway, so as a result, I got moved on stage after having to go through all the heels and everything else. That's one reason to compete in bodybuilding, not to wear heels. But I ended up getting moved up into bodybuilding, like out of that category. Apparently it's the first time I've ever done it, so it is difficult. And the point I'm trying to make is, like, you don't actually always know. So
but you can some federations you can enter more than one category.
You can, I know. Two bros you can. I'm competing this year. You can do more than one. And it is tempting. I was tempted to do physique and bodybuilding. However, I looked at the running order. The running order of the show's already up, and it's literally you go on stage for physique and come back off and go back off bodybuilding, which is my main category. So, and you've got to do your routine as well. So I like, that's going to be quite tiring. How long can I, as a natural, hold that pump for? It's probably not for two categories. You know, it's a good hour that it's quite draining. So I'm not going to bring my best from the actual category that I want to hit. So I think that's something that people should consider, really, don't you?
I think the first timers they wouldn't really get that. I think I'll jump in three categories, but realise it's tiring and you've got to be quite, you know, your best for everyone.
How did you find the DOMs after the show? Like, for me, like nothing else.
I weren't that bad actually. I think you just have a bit of an eye after, because it's like a bit of, like, you know, big buzz in it.
But like a few days after it kind of kicks in, and especially legs. That's one thing people don't tell you about. So make sure you get a sports physio outside booked. Both our partners are sports therapists, so we're lucky. But is there anything else you want to comment about? Obviously, I've not done PCA, I've done UK DFBA, MPA, IFBA, and NABA. How did you find it?
Like I said, PCA, I've got no complaints whatsoever. You know, it were really professional, really nice. I love their stage. It's you know, it were brilliant. They looked after you. Great. I did a little one the day after as well in Liverpool. It was just a smaller show within an exhibition, just for practice really. It is hard doing one straight away that day after.
I was just going to say, how did you find that? Because I know a few people who did like UK DFBA, then the MBS the day after, and I was like, wow. All I can think about right now is just eating and laying now.
If I'd have known how I would feel, I probably wouldn't have booked it.
So that's
but I'd already booked it and paid, and I thought, well, I've got my time. And just touch everything up and just go and do it for experience, really.
So that's something you maybe pass forward as advice to the people not to book them so close, because now even 2 weeks apart for me is probably a bit too close. I like to have a good month apart. I'm considering doing a WMBF this year, and then a month, 4 or 5 weeks later doing 2 bros. And I think for anyone to just mentally cope with the stress of having to prep all your food for the day and everything else, especially as a woman. Do you know what I think? As a woman, like it's a lot more stressful, your hair and makeup and everything else.
Definitely. We've got much more to think about. Definitely. But guys, it's just a tan and that. But yeah,
some trunks and
this was one reason why I booked one straight after the other. It's like, I thought, well, it is a lot, you know, it's expensive, hair and makeup and everything, nails, and it's got to be all perfectly, you know, on that day. So I thought, well, while it's all done, but it's there's a lot to sort of plan. It's a lot
in the hotels and stuff, it's a lot to think about, the travel is draining, so so maybe like that's a tip that we could pass on, that like not to book a show too close together. What would you say would be like 4 weeks apart or something
I would
like
do
that?
that same again, one day after. I'd leave it probably 3 or 4 weeks. So you're not like losing it too much, but then
you've got a chance to fill back out as well, haven't you? For your carbo, because like the thing is, even doing them 2 weeks apart, which is what I did before last time, you've got your depletion week, so your peak, what you call a peak week, and then you've got your like sort of carbo towards the end of that. Then you want to enjoy something after the show, ideally, and then reverse back into another show. Basically, it's just quite a lot to.
It is,
Your body's like up and down, and then of course, ideally you qualify for the finals, and then you've got to cope with that up and down again. So my advice would also be that you look at when the finals are, when you look at your qualifiers, pre-plan when your finals are going to be, because you want to hit that anyway, so you've got to assume you're going to qualify, and if not, then just go on holiday.
That's just what I did after I'd done the finals. I'd already got an holiday book, so
So choosing your first show, then we've covered what federation to choose, loosely covered like the categories. Obviously, if anyone is new to competing, your categories are bikini. So this starts at least muscular. If anyone doesn't know, it starts least muscular bikini, and then it's through to figure. Correct me if I've got missing out, but toned figure, athletic figure, trained figure, and then it's general physique, then bodybuilding, basically. And we've got wellness in there in the mix sometimes with some federations, and also fitness, which I think is a really cool category actually. Now, I love watching the fitness.
It is a bit of a minefield, I think, when people are like, oh my god, what does how many categories when you start? But that's where a coach would help you, choose.
That's it. If you've not done it before, then I think it is good to have a coach who has been around in the competing world for a long time, who can even, to be honest, I remember like thinking, how do I even pump up? Like, I was so panicked, took a PT with me, I took a coach with me backstage. I think I drank half a bottle of whiskey at the same time. I was like, get it out, pump up. Whiskey with honey, that was the best solution for me. I don't know why, it made me pump up like crazy at some dates.
I've heard that quite a lot, actually, whiskey.
Whiskey with honey were like the category. We tried whiskey and we tried whiskey with honey. That was the one. Looking at coaching then, and we just said about choosing a coach. Obviously you do coaching, so tell me a little bit more about, and now you've competed, how you help your clients with their competitions basically, and how you approach it differently now you do it yourself.
Well, I've been personal trainer and class instructor for a number of years, but I also decided to set up a coaching side of the business a few months ago with my partner. We decided to do it together because then when people join us, they've got a male and a female. So because some people are like, what do I go to, what's best, and do men not know as much about women, but with us they've got both. So, we're both there all the time, whenever they need us, and you'll get, top spot.
Yeah, and two ends are better than one, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah. Sometimes somebody sees something the other doesn't, or knows a bit more. He's done a lot more competing than me. He's done like 40 plus competitions.
Oh wow, really? We should get in on this.
I'd love to. I'd love to do a video.
Yeah.
But yeah, and obviously I'm quite new to it because I started last year.
Yeah.
But I've been there and done it. So
and you've seen him as well,
So
you've got the other side of it where you're to help.
So we've got a bit of everything really.
Yeah, if you've been the support as well, you understand from your client perspective. What their partners might be going through, how they can make their lives easier as well. So you've got your own experience, like little hacks. I always say coaches are like the fast track way to getting results.
Definitely. Yeah, you need a coach, definitely. Whatever you know, when you decide to enter, definitely a coach.
No, I agree. Just to keep you sane. Else.
That's it. Definitely.
So with your coaching then, do you kind of do after show care as well? Because that is
we can do
thing is like
we can do.
A lot of people say it's harder after the show. So do you do reverse diets and things like that?
Yeah, we can do anything, however how long they want us to stay with them for, basically, so whatever they want. Or even like, people want to just do a prep up until a photo shoot, then we can, it doesn't have to be a competition, we'll do prep coaching, so,
that's really good. I know, like, just touch on that post show, that I always do tend to, because doing, like, competing is very, you're on a high, but then after the show it's like, right back down to earth. So I always book a photo shoot about 1 to 2 weeks after my show, just to reverse out of my diet a little bit, and then like come down nice and steady on like a gradient, rather than just plummeting into the floor type thing. And it gives you something else to look forward to. You've filled out a little bit. Sometimes you look a bit better a couple of weeks after the show. People always say they've had an off-plan meal and all this food afterwards, and they're just like wow, I look so much better today. So I always plan a photo shoot as well. So that'd be my advice for people, like, plan something to look forward to that's not necessarily eating as well. Because although it seems a good idea at the time to just go and eat the world, it's not going to do you any good in the long run. You'll just put all that fat back on that you've worked hard to get off. So
and your body is not ready for it either.
No.
If you have it too quick too soon, which I think I did after, because of that, it felt like I've been dieting forever. I think I ate too much too soon, and the body were like, we need to shock. It were like, what are you doing to me? All these extra calories, but
it's a big learning curve as well. That, in terms of your first show or your first diet, big learning curve when you come off that. You've got to find a way to maintain that into your normal lifestyle, and how much you push that body weight up and that body fat back up to be healthy as a female as well. That's something that you've got to come to terms with almost, and it is mentally that's quite hard. And that's another topic I suppose we could discuss another time, but
definitely, because I think some people think you when they see you on stage, that's how you are.
That's how you are, I know, and then they come and see you like, oh, you're not like that. That's it, So as a female as well, like that judgmental side of things does come in, and as an athlete, it's important to, I think, educate people that you can't look like that all the time, stage ready, and it's okay to not look stage ready all the time. You're not going to grow in that either. So I think there's a lot to prepare yourself for when you're doing your first competition.
Definitely.
And it's definitely a learning curve, but it's an exciting one.
I'm so glad I did it. I loved it. What I did last year, and I will compete again.
I was just going to say, what next? When are you competing?
I'm not sure when yet, but I will again. I've just got a lot going on in my business at the moment. At home, so I know that you've got to be like fully engaged in it, and if I don't think I can be, I won't take it on.
It's definitely a commitment. It's another job basically, but it's I like the challenge of it. So
definitely.
Fab. So thank you for sharing your thoughts on your first competition, competing PCA. It's nice to talk to another female bodybuilder, especially local, in Yorkshire. So just tell people where they can find you, follow you, that sort of thing.
So my gym is Be Strong at Swinton in Rotherham. So we have a website, bestrong.biz. And yeah, you'll find all the information there, or you can find me on Facebook. Again, just business name, is letter B, then Strong, under my personal Julia Coyle.
Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video and follow me along for more videos around competing, bodybuilding, everything else in between. Thank you.